up next for Manchester United is a game in the Premier League against Watford at Old Trafford on Saturday. So after that disappointing performance, how do you think United should approach this game in the Premier League to come out of it with a positive result? That is what we are going to be talking about today in this video. And then also we shall be touching on a few topical stuff such as Rashford's poor form and the apparent war in Ukraine caused by Russia that has caused Manchester United to cancel their commercial deal with that Russian airline and others. So get into the comment section. Let's preview the game together. Let me know your thoughts, what you think, how you think United should approach the Watford game, and some of the threats that you think Watford are capable of posing to our team. And let's get interactive. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new, and thank you all to those who have subscribed and those who keep helping the channel. Let's grow as a community together and talk about the club we love best, that is Manchester United, and football in general. So that being said, let's move straight into it. In the preview area, we shall be looking at team news, head-to-head, form guide, and how we think Watford will approach that game. So in the area of team news, I think both teams are looking very good. Yes, Rangnick just finished doing his press conference some few hours ago, and from that press conference, he has made it clear that we have only Cavani and Scott McTominay out for this game. Yeah, so Cavani is out through a groin injury that he's nursing, and then also McTominay, he missed the Champions League game due to an illness, and he's still suffering from that illness. He hasn't recovered yet, so he's not back in training. So these two players are those missing for Manchester United. And on the camp of Watford too, they are also good and they are fine, except that Josh King, their striker, he picked up a knock against Crystal Palace in the midweek game they played. So he's still a bit of a doubt for this game. But apart from that, they have a good squad and they are raring to go. You know, in their quest to survive relegation, they've been changing managers like underwears. So now they are no more under Claudio Ranieri. They are now being coached by Roy Hodgson. That man is I don't know. I really thought he had retired when he left Palace, because he looked very old and now he's back in the job again. So let's see whether he can be able to help them survive and stay up in the league. So let me run you through some of the numbers in relation to this fixture. These two teams have played each other 15 times in the Premier League, and out of these 15 times, United have won 12, and the other 3 is what Watford has won. So 12 wins for Man United, 3 wins for Watford, and none of the games have ended in a draw. So there has never been a draw game in the Premier League between Watford and Man United. So it means that anytime these two teams play each other, someone must win, or someone always comes out victorious. And then also Watford has never won a Premier League game at Old Trafford, and this is the venue that this fixture is going to be played tomorrow. So these are all numbers on paper that shows that United are the favorites. But United being United, we have a way of always making very weak teams look good against us. So let's hope tomorrow we don't see that the boys stand up and they play. So form guide, like coming into this game, in the last 5 games each of these two teams have played, United have won 3 out of their last 5 games. They've drawn 2 and they've lost none. Watford, on the other hand, have won only 1, drawn 1, and they've lost the remaining 3. So you can really see that Watford are not in a great vein of form right now. So the boys, Man United, should be able to capitalize on this and turn up and show that they are a better team than them, because we are looking to win our 3rd consecutive game after we beat Brighton and Leeds, you understand. So confidence should be really high at our camp. So this season, United is coming to this game lying 4th on the league table, and Watford, on the other hand, are lying 19th on the league table. So this is very amazing. But you know, like everybody can say, oh, then Watford is just a pushover for Man United. But let me remind you that in the second round of the league this season's league games, United have played two teams in the bottom half of, like, in the relegation zone of the league table, and each of those two games have ended in a draw. We played a 1-1 draw with Newcastle United when they were there. We couldn't beat them, and we drew 1-1 with Burnley just recently when Burnley too were in the relegation zone, and now we are playing Watford, who are also there. So United have to really step up. The fact that they are in the relegation zone doesn't mean they are a pushover. Yeah, so this season United have won 13 games, as Watford has won only 5 out of the number of games that they've played. And the United have drawn 7 games against Watford's 3. So Watford have gotten 3 draws this season. And United have lost 6. And Watford, on the other hand, has lost 12 out of the number of games that they've played. So that is it there. And United are averaging 1.7 goals scored per match. Watford, on the other hand, are averaging only 1.0. So United stand a chance of scoring close to about 2 goals every game. But Watford, on the other hand, are averaging only 1 goal. When it comes to defensive-wise, goals conceded, United are averaging 1.3 goals conceded per match against Watford's 1.9. So you see, like, in all departments and in all stats, United are looking good and better than Watford. But remember, the last game we played against them, that was Ole's last game for Man United as manager. These guys stand up and they scored 4 goals against us. And in that time too, they were still struggling and they were still in the relegation zone. But they beat us 4-1 at their home. So these stats on paper are looking good. But the moment the whistle goes, everything comes to a 50-50 game, and you have to win your individual battles, play well, and then you have to, you have to deserve to win the game to be able to win it, especially in the Premier League. Especially when you are playing against some of these relegation-threatened teams. They are playing for their lives, and they are not going to come out and just give you a free pass to 3 points. Yes. So that being said, I think Watford are going to really sit deep. They will play in a low block, and with Roy Hodgson now as their manager, I watched their game that they won recently against Aston Villa, and they looked very similar to Crystal Palace when Roy Hodgson was there. He will usually give you the ball and he will play on the counter through the likes of Zaha and Ayew and Benteke Dems. You understand? So I think Josh King being a doubt for this game might play into our hands, but we still can't just go to that game and not play well. You understand? So I think they will sit deep, they will defend well, and if you look at ever since Roy Hodgson have come in there, their defensive record has been much better than when Ranieri was there. Defensively, Roy Hodgson used to coach his teams to defend very well. So we are going to really pack the bars and play in a lower block, and they will ask us to break them down to get something out of that game. So with the likes of Bruno and Pogba and Sancho, them all flying, I expect us to keep our heads, keep our calm, keep the ball well, pass it around, stop that immaturity, those hero balls, those hastiness. We need to drop that and keep the ball better, pass it around, just keep the ball rolling, quick passes. We can't really play slowly like we did in the midweek against Atletico. You understand? Yes, and we need to be wary of their wingers, because they will play through the wings when they have the ball. They will play through the likes of Sarr and the Dennis guy. The guy is really in top form right now, and our fullbacks will really need to be alert, and our wingers will have to track back and offer help to the fullbacks, and our midfielders will have to be alert and not allow blind runners into the box easily. You understand? Yeah, so I think Watford's main threat, as I have said, will come from their wings, and they will play on the counter, and our midfield and our fullbacks will really need to be up to it in order to be able to stop them from hurting us. So, like, the lineup going into this game, I think the only change I will do to the players that played against Atletico will be for Elanga to come in for Rashford. Yeah, so I'll keep DJ in goal. I'll bring back and I'll not play Lindelof at right back. Yes, I need to mention that. I'll bring back either Wan-Bissaka or Dalot, and I think I should, if you play Wan-Bissaka, because those guys, they have tricky wingers. The Dennis guy and the Ismail Assar, they are very tricky wingers. You understand? So I'll play. Shaw will play, in my opinion, and then I'll play Wan-Bissaka I would pair either Varane with Lindelof or Maguire with Lindelof. I don't know which pairing he will go for, but the Varane Maguire pairing doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It does. I don't see that to be working. But Lindelof has been our best defender, so he should be the mainstay in the team. You understand? And in the midfield too, McTominay is out, so I will play Pogba and then Fred in the pivot, and then with Fernandes ahead of them. And on the wings, I will have Ilanga on the left, or Sancho on the left and Ilanga on the right, or either way. And then Ronaldo obviously will play as the main striker. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which other changes will you like to make to the lineup? And let me see how you would have loved Ragnar to approach this game. You understand? So that being said, I think we have to talk about Rashford though. Our boy hasn't been in top form at all this season. You understand? And it's sad to see, because we know Rashford. We all know the kind of player he is. Even though his decision making is not the best, but the way he has been poor this season, that is not the Rashford we know. And if you look at his demeanor, his body language, it clearly sends a message out that something is really wrong with the guy. And I will be glad if the Man United board or the coaching staff could just look into it and help the guy. Yes, Rangnick hired a sports psychologist, right? So the guy has to get to work. He really has to get to work. I don't want that guy to also be like an Eric Ramsey, who is said to be a set piece specialist, and United can't seem to score a set piece goal. So we can't seem to have a sports scientist, a sports psychologist around the coaching setup, and have our players suffering from mental issues. We understand. So Rashford is crying out for help, and I think the earlier the team helps him out, the better. He hasn't been in top form at all, and I don't think that is good. And there is something underneath it. They need to investigate to find out whether there is still some problems or some hangover from his injury or the surgery, or he's really suffering something personally or mentally. You understand? Rashford is much better than the player you are seeing right now, and he needs all of us, our support right now. But we need to find out what the problem is. You understand? He hasn't been playing well at all. So another thing too is the cancellation of sponsorship deals coming from Russia. You understand? Yes, the world is a funny place to be right now. The world is on the verge of another war, but I just hope the leaders and the politicians will play their cards well, and they won't plunge this world into another world war. You understand? Yes, because 2022 we can't afford to have it being as shit as 2020. We just came out of COVID, and people are still struggling to get their lives back on track. You understand? So we can't have another war right now. The leaders will need to sit down and sort this issue out. The invasion that is happening in Russia, in Ukraine, is not something that we should be sitting here and endorsing. You understand? Yeah. So that has led to a lot of teams cancelling their commercial deal they have with Russian companies. And Man United today has followed suit, and they have released a statement that they are no longer interested in working with that Russian airline, the Aeroflot. You know, they are one of Man United sponsors, and if you go to previously, if you had gone to manunited.com and even used the club's app, you would have seen a lot of Aeroflot logo and their name around the sponsorship things. But right now, United have released a statement that they should stop, and they don't want to work with them again. These are things that the other countries is trying to do to try and get Russia to stop what they are doing. You understand? A lot of sanctions has been meted out already, and even Schalke 04 came out the other day also announcing that they also will part ways with their main sponsor, that energy drink sponsor that they wear on their shirt. Yes, Schalke 04 to have come out to sort of cancel that deal. So let's wait and see, and hope and see what the G7 of the world, the politicians and the leaders will do about it. We really can't afford to go back into that situation again. You understand? The world has moved past wars. We are individuals. For the sake of humanity, we need to be able to sit down to address our differences. It's not anything that we should resort to guns and missiles. No. Nah. Our ancestors and our forefathers will really be disappointed in us if we sit here in the 21st century or this current age and we keep fighting each other like that. Nah, it's not the best. You understand? So that has been my match preview and how I think United should deal with that game. How I think Watford will come into this game and the way I expect them to play, and what lineup I expect Rangnick to come up with. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll predict United to win it maybe 3-1, because we really doesn't keep clean sheets, do we? Yeah, so we don't keep clean sheets. So my prediction is a 3-1 win for Man United, and up front we need to take our chances this time around. Yeah, so let me know your scoreline predictions and your lineup predictions and your thoughts about all the issues I have discussed in the video. And until we meet again next time to discuss the aftermath of the game, stay safe out there and have a nice time to you all. Bye bye.